Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary, direct from our assignment desk, otherwise known as my compost heap. Let's see what stories we're working on this hour. Hey, can you keep it down? I can't even hear myself think. I need these headphones. Actually, I'm pretending I live at Olive and Wooster, one of the 4 apartment complexes, Eastwood Huntsville complexes, built on formerly vacant or underused land between downtown Wooster Square. And we're glad they were built. But what the city found out, and the Independent story, is that it's an illegal rooming house, even though they're luxury apartments, at least that one. They had 4 people unrelated living in the same apartment and squeezing them each for rent of up to $1,300 a month. So we might like the idea of density, but let's follow the rules and not let these people make a quick buck by breaking our rules. I mean, for instance, who's gonna replace all the paper towel rolls? I also got some toilet paper rolls if they're interested, but I'm not worried about toilet paper rolls. I'm worried about our tax rolls. Tom Breen in the Independent this week reported that Yale is taking 300 George Street, the big building there, off the tax rolls. The history of that building is the history of the promise, but then the unrealized gains of our switch to an eds and meds economy. That used to be one of the main phone companies' buildings, SNET. Hundreds of people worked there and they paid taxes. They shrank, the economy was changing. 1996, a hustler, a con man named Bob Matthews, he's actually in prison right now for his con deals. He was doing them in New Haven in the 90s. He bought off politicians and government people. And he bought that building for $500,000 and let it just sit there. He got his friends in government to lower the taxes to make it more attractive so he could flip and do nothing with it. Enter Carter Winstanley, a real developer who does real work. He bought the building, Matthews made his money, went on to other cons. And Winstanley fixed up the building, filled it with biomedical enterprises, our new economy, many from Yale. For decades, he paid his taxes. It's a thriving building. Winstanley's allowed to, he flipped it to Yale. Yale bought it for $139 million, 139.6. That 0.6 is more than the 0.5 Matthews paid. There again, the benefit is coming off the tax rolls, and eventually that means $2 million less a year that we're gonna get in taxes from that building. Who's making the money? Yair Netanyahu is the son of the Israeli prime minister. He's been hanging out in New Haven. He started a company here. He tried to hide that it was his company, but Tom Breen of the Independent found the documents that showed it's his company. It's a national company. I'm going around making right-wing speeches. And he bought a house on Pardee Street in the Annex, a low-income street not near anything you would need if you're coming through town or close to anywhere a guy like that would go. Was he getting this book from Uncle Lou's Cannabis Dispensary, You Are High journal? You Are High coloring book? That's one explanation for why he bought that house, because he's not renting it out allegedly. He's just gonna stay there eventually. I don't think that's the explanation. I think there's more to this story. Stay tuned. Well, good news for the cafeteria workers in New Haven Public Schools when they got their Marty Looney oven mitts, I hope, while they're making soup and feeding the kids. They just got a new union contract. They're gonna get new job training, but the city got some healthcare savings, and lead cooks are gonna make $33.99 an hour when it's done. That's fair, that's right, that's why we need unions. You know, in these times, heartening stories to read come from the 10-volume Jews in New Haven grassroots history series put about by the Jewish Historical Society, often stories about refugees and immigrants who came to this country and along with fellow immigrants from other ethnic groups have made New Haven a great city. Well, now 2 stories in the last week reflect how the federal government has gone from our partner to our enemy in helping make our cities great and our country great through new people coming in and wanting to do hard work and have great new ideas. IRIS, the agency that resettles refugees, they have to now close their New Haven office, their physical office, and lay off half their staff because of cutbacks in federal aid. Meanwhile, we've gone from the ally of one of the great fights for democracy and freedom in this world to an enemy in our official government, Ukraine. There was a press conference at City Hall where the leaders of the Ukrainian community here were with our Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro and our Mayor Justin Elicker saying, we still stand for Ukraine. The problem is now our country doesn't. Not only has our president cut off military aid and intelligence sharing, he even wants to stop the refugee status for 240,000 Ukrainians who fled the war when Putin, the leader of Russia, Trump's friend, who he now supports, invaded that country and slaughtered people and Trump wants to send them back to the slaughter. Well, we're still hanging tough here. We're not giving up. And in the end, justice will prevail if we keep fighting. Until next time, this is the New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary. And remember, always pick up and recycle your trash while we still can.